Tuffy, Smarty and Mouse had been living on Grasshopper Island for a month and a half. They swam and ate and swam all day long.
Look what I found! Very smart. How about some food? Action stations! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0!
They thought they were the only people living on Grasshopper Island, but they were wrong. Cornelius Button was a grasshopper expert. As well as grasshoppers, he loved cheese. He kept eating it between meals, which spoilt his appetite.
Mr. Button! See you on the beach, dear lady.
Lupus was always trying to find out where Cornelius Button hid his cheese, and for once she'd managed to catch up with him. Tuffy was a great reader. His favourite book was about pirates who buried their treasure on uninhabited islands. Suppose there was treasure on Grasshopper Island. Once a month, Cornelius Button took Lupus to the mainland to do the shopping. And of course, that's where he bought his cheese. He liked to unload the boat on his own, so it made things very awkward the day Lupus said she'd help.
Funny smell?
Seaweed, dear lady, seaweed.
You've been buying that cheese again, Mr. Button.
Back in a moment, dear lady.
He does it deliberate. He knows it brings me out in spots. He's not going to get away with it this time.
Cornelius Button ran home as fast as he could, but for once he wasn't fast enough for Lupus.
What have you got behind there, Mr. Button? Grasshoppers.
It isn't easy digging for treasure without a spade. Smarty said he'd better things to do, like lobster fishing. Mouse didn't want to lose his new hat. So Tuffy was left to dig for buried treasure on his own. Cornelius Button had no appetite for his dinner at all. It wasn't just all the cheese he'd eaten, it was Lupus.
Delicious, dear lady, delicious.
Could she be spoiling for a row? During the meal, she didn't talk at all. She served each course as if she were dealing cards. It made Cornelius Button nervous.
And now, Mr. Button, a little talk, if you please.
After dinner, Tuffy, Smarty and Mouse slept while their clothes dried in the sun. The tide came in, bringing presents from the sea, but Tuffy, Smarty and Mouse never noticed. Lupus's little talk went on and on.
20 years, Mr. Button, 20 years I've been here. And I put up with a lot, as you well know. But I'll not put up with that nasty-smelling cheese not a moment longer. So you can make up your mind. Either that goes or I go. And I ain't budging this time, neither.
Cornelius Button chose Lupus, of course. He knew it wouldn't be easy to find anyone else to look after him on Grasshopper Island. What with the heat and the handling, the cheese was beginning to ooze out of its paper. It was beginning to smell like old socks. Even Cornelius Button was glad to be getting rid of it. He decided to fetch a spade and bury it in the sand. Cornelius Button didn't notice Tuffy, Smarty and Mouse, but he did notice the barrel. It gave him an idea. Instead of digging a hole for the cheese, he put it in the barrel and dumped them both out to sea. The first thing Smarty noticed when he woke up was the spade in the sand.
The tide must have washed it in like your hat.
So Tuffy began digging in a new place with the spade. He was sure he was going to find buried treasure this time.
And they usually had a landmark of a tree or a rock. And when they came back, you see, they could easily find it because of that tree or rock. But sometimes they didn't come back. So it still remained a
Smarty was a doer, not a talker. He hadn't swum far when he noticed something unusual on the bottom of the sea. But of course, it wasn't treasure. It was lucky Lupus didn't come down to the beach that night, or she might have thought Cornelius Button was up to his tricks again. By next morning, the tide had done its work. It had washed away the lobster pot and the spade. And of course, there was no sign of the barrel or of Cornelius Button's cheese.